Okay, I think we are live. Let me know if you can hear me well. I really had to struggle until the last minute to get my technology up and running. It worked totally fine for the last two streams, but for whatever reasons, one of my cameras completely failed me. I'm not sure what it is, and if you see something strange happening with the other camera, I think I'm not so concerned about the main camera here. It's more the other camera, but yeah, let's hope for the best and let's see what we can do. Really appreciate that you are here. I see Joel, I see Paul. Awesome, amazing that you made it. Yeah, cannot really tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't brought any beer just yet. Maybe for the next stream, I will make sure of that. Thanks for that. Please let me know if you can hear me well. I also had to switch back to my old microphone setup also during the very last minute. And yes, I did prepare this really ahead of time. Thanks for letting me know that the sound is okay. And yeah, a lot of things went wrong. It's really Murphy's Law and it's double Murphy's Law. Everything worked this for the last two streams, but yeah. Let's not think about it. Let's get straight into the game. I think I will now remove those executive sponsors. Really do appreciate all your support. Thanks, Katsulas. Perfect. You can hear and see. So do I. But really appreciate it that you will let me know. I think you see parts of the rulebook just down here. I might need to refer to this every now and then. I played Elder Sign numerous times, but honestly not for the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. And this is one of the games which are relatively straightforward, but every now and then, yeah, there are these tiny little rules, and there is also a long basically list of FAQs and errata and whatnot. I'm using the second printing of the game, so I guess rules wise most of it has made it in there, but there are still some more clarifications, and that's where I have you, I guess, to let me know if I'm playing something incorrectly. So I will try to keep it somewhat slow. I have not yet decided on which great old one to go for. So I think I wanted to do something very fancy actually, but again, due to the lack of time, and I'm really in my studio now, the last 2 hours make everything work. But yeah, here we are. So I think I will simply, whatever, give this deck here a shuffle, and then we will select a great old one. Again, I'm playing with the base game and the Unforeseen Forces expansion. In my mind, that's the expansion you really do need to really fully enjoy the game. Everything else, Streets of Arkham and these other Antarctica kind of things, they're nice, definitely adding something to that, but I think in respect to, if you want to stick to the museum here, then with the Unforeseen Forces, I think you are totally fine playing that game. In respect to my characters, that's something I luckily already did prepare this afternoon actually, to really, I shuffled the hell out of the deck and ended up with Carolyn Fern, the psychologist. We have Joe Diamond, the private eye, and we have Sister Mary. I believe these are all characters from the base game. I already have drawn their starting possessions. So we have the Derringer, we have the warding statue, we have an axe, we have a clue. For whatever reason, they have not chosen a magnifying glass in this version of Arkham Horror. It's these footprints. Not sure what they were thinking, but they will work just fine. Sister Mary, we have some food, we have the ancient tablets, and we have the Miss of Arlie. And yeah, in respect to those special abilities, Carolyn, she can pretty much heal a character's, right? Yeah, to regain one sanity. Joe Diamond, when he spends a glue token, he gets a second reroll. That's pretty powerful actually. And the Sister Mary, an amazing effect, so she can use locked dice, and as a matter of fact, we do have a locked die right here off the get-go. The problem is none of her starting possessions require a yellow die. So she would be perfect actually to yeah, go first, for example, and go after this locked die. But unfortunately, that's not, or she doesn't have an item that would allow her to make use of it. She has the ancient tablet, which gives her a red die, and she has a spell, yeah, which is something that you can always use. And I think, yeah, apart from that, I think, yeah, she can also ignore lingering effects on mythos cards. Okay, that's also not a bad thing. Not sure how well versed you are as far as the expansion goes, but again, I'm not playing with a standard museum entrance. When you play with at least parts of this expansion, you have to go with this new one here. So we have the first aid station, lost and found, the souvenir shop, the chapel. The main difference to this is, and this at least when you are at least somewhat used to the base game, is that you no longer can spend trophies in order to gain a advancement, an elder sign on the great old one. Apart from that, all the other things are, I think, kind of similar. I will not go into much detail here. I think, and I'm used to these things anyway, so I guess I should be fine. With that being said, I will definitely miss a lot of stuff. I'm not sure what I was thinking going with 3 investigators, but yeah, I think it's more fun having more investigators. I think you can play it alone, but this seems rather lame. 2 maybe is okay, but 2 or 3 for me, that's the sweet spot for this game. And I guess there we are. And not sure if you should be seeing my little, I don't know, doesn't matter too much. I should be able to see whatever is going on here. And I notice I already have spent 7.5 minutes without doing a lot of stuff, but I think let's get cracking right off the get-go right now. And I think, as I mentioned, we are going to give this pile of cards a good shuffle. Yeah, you should really see that there is no cheating here. And I guess one thing I totally forgot was to bring my dice tray. So I guess we will have to go for a dice tower in this case. I wasn't even able to find my Lego dice tower, which some of you may know. But this one should do fine. It has a nice pirate on it, so we will be covered. So yeah, in respect to the great old one, the idea was to go random. I shuffled the deck here, so we are going to roll a 6-sided die, and we will simply start from top to bottom. So yes, I think these are exactly 12 great old ones with the base game and the expansion here, but I think, yeah, as we have shuffled the deck, let's simply roll that. Now I'm rolling a 6, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that's our great old one. So let's see who we get. Let's make room a little bit. And Azathoth. Okay, I really shuffled the hell out of this deck. I mean, you have seen that. Let's see if I can zoom down just a little bit. And I guess if we are putting this down, you should be able to see him just fine. This is really good and bad, and not trying to cheat here. I was totally okay with going with everything that the game would get me. I think he's one of the ones who needs a hell of a lot of those Elder Signs in order to defeat him. But the thing is, once he awakens, everything is gone. Like in Arkham Horror, like in Eldritch Horror, you really don't want to mess with Azathoth. And yeah, if Azathoth awakens, the game ends and the investigators lose. With that being said, I have never won a single game when one of the other great old ones awakened. I guess I was kind of close at one instance, not remembering which great old one it was, but I've never really won. And I really played this game, I don't know, 20, 25 times or so easily. So typically you're really trying to, yeah, get rid of the great old one before he awakens. But I think that's the same with Eldritch Horror, for example. So once you flip the great old one card, it's basically over. Okay, so yeah, we are dealing with Azathoth. Good thing is we don't have to deal with any weird rules whatsoever. So some of those will add additional monsters, and some will whatever. Cthulhu is a nasty one. I think your maximum well, come on, no, forget it. Yeah, basically your health and your mental health is reduced by 1. But I think, yeah, I like that. But on the other hand, again, we need to get 14 of those elder signs. That's definitely quite a lot. Okay, I guess with this being said, we should be able to get started. Maybe let's go back to the main screen for a second. And as usual, I'm not giving a full rules explanation. Basically, I want to reduce the overhead here. I'm talking a lot anyway already, so let's not get too much into explaining the rules. It's a relatively simple game. I think I will explain these encounters when they come up, but apart from that, again, yeah, you should be fine with this game. You really don't need a full-blown explanation to go ahead. So we will simply go from left to right, so which means we will start with Carolyn. Then we will go with Joe Diamond. Then we will go with Sister Mary. Doesn't really matter too much. Yes, in theory, you could already start gaming the game and say, let's put Carolyn to the back of the row, because again, if whatever Joe Diamond or Sister Mary gets hurt, then she might be able to already heal them or so. But yeah, let's not get too crazy here. We want to enjoy the night, isn't that the case? Okay, Carolyn, where do you want to go? She would have a yellow die. Keep in mind, the yellow die is still locked here in the Gala in the Great Hall, and I will not read the flavor text on these cards. The second printing comes with actual readable cards. That's at least something. But I think, yeah, it can be quite a long stream as it is already, so let's not get too crazy here either on those things. Let's move back to our characters here. And yeah, but we have the warding statue, though the red die is still available to us. The thing is, where do we want to go? This is where you need to understand maybe the rewards and the penalties of these locations. So all of these locations have a series of tasks that you have to fulfill. And if you are able to fulfill all of those pretty much in one single round, then you get the reward. If you fail, then you suffer the penalty here. This is a curse. That's pretty bad stuff. I mean, like in Arkham Horror Eldritch, you don't want to get cursed. Hey, Steph. Hey. Great that you were able to make it. Amazing. Yeah, you don't want to get cursed. Here you get blessed. So that's a good thing. But in the end, what we are after are those eldritch tokens here. No, those elder signs here, because whenever we see this as a reward, we will be able to place one of those. And where is my cup here? I think it's here. Then we are able to place one of those tokens here. I think we are placing it somewhere next to other tokens. And again, we need 14 of those. Not even sure if you have 14 of those tokens. No, we will be good. Everything is fine. So that's basically what we're after. Obviously, those are the more, let's say, tough encounters. You have to really work in order to make progress. So it's usually also not a bad thing, maybe going for something, let's say, easier. On the other hand, the graced writings here is something that's definitely doable. We need 4 of those clue symbols, which is pretty much this. And this is a Yahtzee style kind of game. In the end, we need a terror, and I think this is lore, if I remember that correctly. Was that terror? No, I think this is terror, this is lore, and I think the skull is peril. Yeah, I think this, never mind, it's a skull. These symbols here are pretty much asking you to roll a 6, because these are basically on one side of the die. Here's a peril, here's the lore, and the same is true for the terror event here. So these are 6s pretty much. Again, for the elder sign, that's a relatively easy encounter to deal with. On the other hand, you don't get anything special. So because you also want to prep your characters, so you want common items, you want more clue tokens, for example. Or here, these are those, what are those called? Yeah, I think special items, or what those are. Unique items, of course, unique items. These unique items typically give you red dice, and those pistols, the common items, in most cases give you yellow dice, but there are also some exceptions to that rule. So again, not a bad start. It also gives you 1 trophy. Again, you can trade in trophies later on in the souvenir shop, for example. But yeah, not sure if you want to go there. The Hallway on Fire is something maybe for Joe Diamond to go to, because Joe Diamond is relatively, let's say, he has a lot of physical health, up to 6. And by the way, I'm not putting tokens there up front. I'm usually adding tokens when you get a wound. I'm simply too lazy to put this stuff here doing setup. But that would be a better task for Joe Diamond, not so much for Carolyn. So where are my locations here? So I'm really tempted to go to the Vermin in the Pipes, because this would give me some more items. And again, if we are fulfilling one of those, we would reveal a new one and maybe we get a better mix of stuff. So I guess I have talked my way into that. So we are taking Carolyn and putting her onto the Vermin in the Pipes encounter. Yes, yes. The question is now, should we already start using her warding statue or not? Or should we maybe consider going for the Gala here? Because again, that's also doable. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 dice maximum, which we would need, and we would free up the yellow because Joe Diamond. No, I think let's be a team player. Let's be a team player. And sorry, I just got started, so allow me some mulligans here. So we will send Carolyn to the Gala in the Great Hall. None of the conspicuously wealthy guests showed any concerns as I screamed about the doom that we were all about to face. But that's the last text you hear from me, promised. In order to fulfill that, we are taking now all of those dice that we have. So that's the green die pool. None of the other dice are taken, right? No, I think we are good. And because we want to freeze something, I guess it's fair to spend the warding stone for that. I know you could ask why you are wasting a red card for yellow dice. The reason is we have 2 characters who could roll yellow dice later on. And again, whatever happens, I think that's... Let's do that. Let's simply do that. So we are expending this, so this will be discarded. We are adding, where is the red die? It's hiding behind my dice tower here. And finally, we will start rolling some actual dice. Isn't it lovely? So let's simply do that. I think you should be able to see the screen, and then I'll explain everything that happens. And that's okay. It's a weird result. Let's put it like this, but it's okay. We will be able to deal with that. So we can do these tasks now in any order because there is no arrow. This card here, we really have to start with this task and then we have to walk our way down. In this case, we can choose. And as we have fulfilled this whole thing here, I think let's totally go for this first task here. Let's say we would have another 3 of these clue symbols here. We would not be allowed to go for the next task. You have to really stop. Later on, you can use a spell, for example, to park dice. If you fail, you can focus it out. But in this case, this was basically our first roll. The good thing is we can continue to roll now. And we have solved our first task here. Problem is, if we don't manage to roll 3 of these magnifying glass or those clues, we have basically lived the whole thing. But in this case, I was relatively certain. It doesn't really matter which one to go for. Let's go for this. So these are 3. The thing is, we have to take 1 sanity hit for poor Carolyn. So let's deal with that. But she is okay. She can take it. She's a psychologist, so she will be fine. For the team, amazing. She was able to deal with the first result. And by the way, I just noticed it also has 1 of those. So I think that was actually a pretty solid decision moving down there. I really should read the card. So we have freed this yellow die here. We will send her back to, I think we will put her back to the, I don't know, entry or so. She will now be allowed to grab this as a trophy, so she can spend it later on. But of course, we are also going for this. So she will get 2 of those clue tokens here, and that's amazingly good, actually. We will get one spell. So let's see what spell we get. It's this one here. That's a bless. Discard to choose one investigator to become blessed. Isn't that lovely? Amazing. Oh yeah, I will totally take that. And because we have done this, it also means we are able to add our very first elder sign to that. Wow, that wasn't a bad start at all. I think this was totally worth it. We are immediately revealing a new one, and that's walled up, and this comes with a terror effect. And guys, you should have let me know. I already forgot something. You should start with a thing in place already. We will start with a mythos card. You should have told me. You should have told me. I was thinking about it, but now I forgot. But okay, that's fine. So you really start the game with one of those things. And I'm here really added all of those mythos cards in there. You might see red cards, you might see cards from the expansions, whatnot. In this case, yeah, either add one Doom token to the Doom track or 2 monster. In this case, let's add the Doom token. Simple as that. And the next time the clock strikes midnight, each investigator gains 1 glue token. Okay, that's a good thing. Let's not try to forget that. I will place it next here. But as of now, we should be fine. But of course, we are off to a bad start here. But that's even, so we are okay. And yeah, I mean, if you look at this now, you will see that there are 2 clues, but this one means a monster. I think that's doable. We could lose 1 health. We could become cursed if we're rolling a terror. Yeah, okay. So one thing that we have to do after each investigator went, and not sure, yeah, you are able to see that. So the clock will advance 3 hours basically, and this will always advance 3 hours. Doesn't really matter how many players you play, you will always go from 12 to 3, from 3 to 6, and so on. So this now shows that the turn of Carolyn Fern is over. And next we are dealing with Joe Diamond. And Joe Diamond is now able to use his yellow die because Carolyn freed it up. So I think really appreciate that. Well done. So where are we sending Joe Diamond to? And yeah, let me know if you think where I should go to. I'm just having a look at those again. The hallway on fire is something that he might be able to go for, but he could in total lose 3 health actually. If you're failing, then for 2 unique items, not sure. And we are losing 1 more stamina if we're rolling a terror. So not sure if I like this. So this hallway on fire, or this hallway might be on fire for quite some while actually. The hidden temple is an okay one because we could bring out new how are those called? Otherworld cards, which are additional opportunities. But yeah, it's really costly. So upon entry, we're adding 1 Doom token to the Doom track. Oof, that's really not cool. And if you're looking at the Doom track here, the next space will mean you have to add a monster to the mix. So I'm not quite sure if I like that. So currently I'm kind of tempted going for the walled up here actually, because this is 2 progress. He has a reroll, he has a yellow die, he can take this, become cursed. Pretty terrible stuff. But I think what does happen, that's the 1 piece. What happens if you're getting cursed in the middle of a task? Black die cannot protect. Yeah, I think you get it immediately, I guess. Otherwise, what's the point? So there's a risk. There's a risk. But he has a reroll. He can reroll twice, and overall, it's doable, right? It really is doable. And here I'm really tempted. Let's try to make some progress, right? So yeah, let's go to the walled up one. There is no entry effect, so that's at least something. Let's bring out the dice tower. We will definitely use the X now, which means, okay, the red die is not able to use, but he's allowed to roll the yellow die, which is okay, but not as powerful as the red die. Obviously, the red comes with a wild card here, which is basically up to 4 clue symbols. So we have spent the X. So we are rolling this. We can do that again, or those in any order, but obviously we are trying to get 4. But let's see what we roll. We can check. And I guess that's an okay roll, I would say. I mean, we have done this and we have done this. So for the next, we need 6 things. And because we have passed, we are not triggering the terror effect here. That's the important piece. You only trigger terror if you roll a terror symbol and you fail the current task. But I think this is okay, which means we have to wound poor Joe Diamond, the private eye. Let's give him a wound, but I think he's a tough guy. He will be able to deal with that. Let's move back to our die pool. So we have dealt with that. Let's put a token on there so to show that we have done that. But this happens right away. But this shows us, okay, we have done that. Let's roll again for the second task. These are 6 clues. And wow, extremely lucky. That's basically the 4. That's the 2. Wow, these guys are on fire. Oh, wow, that's really cool. So yeah, a lot of things will happen. I will resolve them from left to right. So we are giving him 1 clue token. We will add 2, not 1, 2 of those. That's really crazy good. But we will also add a monster. Therefore, we have our little monster cup here. Again, I'm not looking. And oh, that's that's a nasty one. That's the mummy. I think that's one of the toughest monsters out there. Are you kidding me? And we have to add it now to a monster slot. And I think the next best monster slot is this one here. You see that here, these white things. If there aren't any monster slot, then we will start putting them underneath those cards. But in this case, I mean, this would have been 1 or 2 dice. Now, in order to do this, we need 3 dice. That's either terror or peril for just one of those. That's pretty brutal. But again, we have dealt with this one here, which means Joe Diamond gets this as a trophy. I will put it next to him, and he will also return back to the entrance. And I guess that's the end of his turn. No, we have to bring out a new one, and that's break on through. Oh, we are locking a green die. You must be kidding me. Okay, someone has to go there for sure. It's doable. It comes with another world, which they really provide you a lot of these elder signs and a unique item. So maybe anyway worth getting there, I guess. But yeah. Let's first deal with the clock. Let's move over to our characters. And now we see that, oh, I think you cannot see the spell here. Let's put it here. So we are moving to Sister Mary. And I think, yeah, the green die is really something that you have to have. I think that goes without saying. Yeah, let's send Sister Mary over to break on through. Again, it could open up another location for us, so this would then be 7 in total, so which is never a bad thing. And there are no real lingering effects here, so I think we should be good. The question now is, are we okay with just 5 dice? In theory, we only need 3 dice. This is a die, this could be a die, this would be a die. And here we even have some reserves. But I think you really don't want to fail, because if we make it, we get a unique item back. So I think it's still worth it to use the unique item, right? The ancient tablet. Yeah, let's totally do that. So we are adding the red die to the mix. And Joel, you are back. Awesome. Great that you could make it. Cool stuff. Really appreciate it. I know it's not really your time. I think here it's 8 p.m. I think for you should be around, what is it now? What is it? I don't know. You'll let me know. But really great you could make it. Yeah, let's start rolling some dice. Again, we can do these in any order. And yeah, here we would lose one, or we'll take a sanity hit, but Sister Mary's totally fine with that. So what did we get? Yeah, I think that's now... that's now an interesting piece actually to decide. So I think we will definitely go for this one here. She has a spell, which means we could, in theory, lock this die for this one here. And again, having those lore symbols out there later on for tasks is also never a bad thing. Of course, we would spend our spell relatively early on, but at least it would somewhat... Yeah, I think it would, of course, make sure that we are making it. And that's the idea. We wanted the green die. So yes, I guess we will block, or not block, park the green die. And the cool thing about those spells is they can be used by anyone later on. You have to have the spells and you have to activate it, but once you have parked dice on these spells, any character later on could use these spells. Pretty powerful stuff. Okay, it's 2 p.m. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, I think let's keep on rolling. And again, if we are not rolling well enough, then we can always use this. But if not, then yeah, we still have a valuable die waiting for some other investigators. And no, this was not successful, which means we have to remove one die. Then we will keep on rolling. We will do the same. And yeah, good thing that I used this spell now. And yes, okay, so we were not able natively to make it. But in this case, we will totally use our spell, which means the spell is already gone. So out of here, nothing we can do, but we will park it here. So we have managed to fulfill this task. But okay, this task also requires us to take a sanity hit. But I think that's still something that we can live with. And of course, I forgot. I'm stupid. I'm really, really stupid. I should slow down, folks. Of course, she would have been allowed to use the green die too, her special ability. Oh gosh, she will have to put it back, but yeah, it's late for me. Sorry, it wasn't really a terrible week for me, but now I'm absolutely happy playing this game, but bear with me, I will forget stuff. And maybe I should simply slow down and give you the time to whatever, type something and say, hey, you are supposed to use the green die here. You don't need to spend any extra stuff. But it is what it is. I have done that, which is cool. So we have freed up the green die here. She will get this one here. We will unlock our first other world. Let's put it here. The Great Hall of Zeliano. Yep, I think you should be able to see that. It's doable, I would say. It comes with a doom token, which you would have to place once successful, but that's okay. We get a spell, and yeah, we will get these. I think they all come with at least one of those elder signs. At least I think. So she will go back to her player board. She will get this as a trophy too. So wow, so far they were all pretty successful. And here we have the Repugnant Tome, which we have to do in order now, but that's a pretty powerful one. But yeah, we need, again, pretty much 3 6s. Only on one of those faces there is this lore symbol here. This one here again has in theory 2 because it has a lore and it comes with the wild card. And that's an investigator icon. For years I was always thinking, is that a flame? What is that? And then I zoomed in and say, oh no, wait, that's an investigator. But okay, that's stupid me. Yeah, man, that's a cool one. But the terror effect, that's wow, that's terrible. Discard 1 spell or be devoured. Come on, you must be kidding me. Oh gosh. Yeah, maybe let's not go there too soon. I don't know. I think, yeah, this was the 3rd turn, so we are moving to 9 p.m. a.m. I think it should be a.m. or so, because I think these investigators are working during night or so thematically. Could be totally wrong. I don't know. But we're moving back to Carolyn. And her special ability says at the start of any player's turn, including her, Carolyn may cause any one investigator of choice, including herself, to regain 1 sanity. And I think why not? Let's simply do that. Of course, we somehow have to remember that we have used that. So do we have, yeah, we will use this wooden token here to indicate that she has used this special, well, place it onto her special ability. So she has used it, and you can use this once per day, right? Once per day, exactly. That's the idea. But okay, where are we? And I think I maybe should have simply moved over here. Sorry for that, I missed that. I'm really not happy with that camera here, but okay, I have to live with that. And you guys have to live with that, so apologies for that. So where are we sending her to? We could discard this to bless someone. Maybe not the worst thing in the world. But let's move through our locations again. They're all not great. One of the best ones is this. This is, I would say, really terrible, because again, adding Doom to Azathos it's really terrible, because there's nothing you can do. Once there are 12 tokens on there, game is over. So it means the investigator is on fire. Exactly, that's the explanation I was looking for. Amazing. Cool. Yeah, that was a great one. Awesome. Yeah, but still, where do we go? Where do we go? This is now also has become very terrible. I mean, she could roll the yellow die. She can use the Derringer, but in total, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we would also get this monster. I mean, these are also trophy points. That's 2, right? The mummy. That's a really weird one. That looked like, what was it in the mummy? What's her name? That Mr. Vosloo is after. Aang Sunamun, exactly. It looks more like Aang Sunamun here. But yeah, even with the yellow die, these are basically 5 6s, 5 or 6 basically. So we have 2 of those results, then one more, and one more. That's terrible. That's really not a great one. This could be okay. I mean, she has a hell of a lot. If you would still have that spell loaded with a die, then I guess I would go for it, because then it's very likely that we could do that, and the rewards are pretty amazing. Here we could get blessed, and again, getting blessed, we would roll an extra die. Simple as that. Yeah, it's simply another green die. Let's put it like this. Okay, Joel, considering all the Arkham and Eldritch Horror stuff I already own, I'm surprised I have never played Oh yeah, you absolutely should. Besides Eldritch Horror, this is really my favorite game, because it really brings in this very simple, I would say, Yahtzee style of game into a very thematic experience, and it's relatively fast playing. So when you talk much less than I do here on camera, you can go through this game in, I don't know, 45 minutes with 2 to 3 players, if you know the game relatively well. Maybe quicker if you die soon, obviously. Oh, come on, guys. What should I do? What do you think? I cannot send her to the hallway on fire here, because, yeah, stamina is not her strong suit. This is still a cool one for maybe Joe Diamond to go after. So I'm really tempted to go for the Great Hall of Saliano before we see a monster here. So right now, that's our best bet, right? What do you think? What do you think? Let me know. Come on, give me a hint. Again, should I go to the Great Hall of Saliano with Carolyn? I will lay her here, giving you. I know there is a delay between what am I recording and once those messages do appear. So I will give you another 5 to 10 seconds. Maybe I can think something through. Again, this is also not bad. We would give a lot. That would be the second best one. So maybe it's Vermin in the Pipes, or it's the Great Hall of Saliano. That's my 2 things for her, and she should be able to deal with either of those. Of course, here we will make progress, but we are also adding a Doom token. But yeah, that's something, the risk that we have to take. And overall, that would be our 4th one. So still not halfway through, but at least we're getting there. And yeah, this is okay, but She also rolls a lot of those. So this could be also okay. The repugnant tome would be pretty nice too, actually. So maybe it's one of those three, but right now, bring on the monsters. Bring on the monsters. But the monsters would be here, right? If you say bring on the monsters. That here we would spawn a monster if we would be successful. But being devoured, that's pretty terrible. This will also add another one, and we would also have to start using another character. And right now they are still pretty healthy. Okay, go for it. That's okay. I think we go for it. You mean the Great Hall of Saliano. I think that was my first one, so let's go for that. And let's try to keep things much quicker now. I think here we don't need to get blessed, or should we get blessed? I mean, we could bless herself, right? If we are failing, yeah, why not? Let's go for it, right? I mean, it's still important enough. So we will use the bless here, which means we are getting a blessed condition. And getting a blessed condition means, let me zoom back in, we will add a white die to the dice pool at the start of each adventure, and we will discard it if we're ever failing at an adventure. These are not encounters, these are adventures. So we are removing this, we are getting this. So now we can decide if we want to go with another yellow die or not. The thing is, we don't get anything back right now. And these are 7 dice. She has 2 rerolls. And a reroll here means all, some, or 1 die. I guess that's okay. We have rerolls, and again, we only need these. These are 4 dice in total, maximum. Oh, minimum, I should say. How badly do we want this? I'm feeling okay. Let's only roll those dice here. Okay. And I think this was pretty terrible, but the good thing is we can simply do this. Yes. All back. Hey, there's a white and black dice. Yes, they're from the first expansion, the Unforeseen. The white die you're rolling if you're blessed, which I just did to Carolyn. And the black die is the curse die, which means if I would have rolled this, for example, with the black die, this would negate this die here. Then this die would be basically resolved. I think you get rid of the curse once you are successfully making it through adventure. It's also not the worst thing in the world, but you want to get rid of it. But okay, we have managed our first task, and we can do these in any orders. And now we need a hell of a lot of 6s again. It's not really 6, but you get the idea. And that was insanely bad. We were hoping for a terror or for a lore, which we didn't get. So I guess before we are now, I think let's definitely spend our first clue, and we will re-roll all of those, obviously. I think let's re-roll those while we still have a lot of those. You're feeling okay, famous last word. yeah, thanks. And yeah, yeah, see for yourself. The thing is, the penalty is not terrible on this card. Of course, we would lose our blessed condition. That's the bad thing. Let's not do that. Let's not spend our last clue just yet. Let's roll one more. Again, this gets removed from our dice pool for now. Okay, that's much better. We will deal with that, so we can continue to roll. Now we are looking for this law symbol, which we didn't get. And now this would be, I don't want to lose the, I think it's, you could still use the Derringer. Did you remove the save mode for the stream? Yes, I did remove the save mode, but unfortunately there's always a delay of, I don't know, 20 seconds or so easily. That's what I figured out. It's definitely at least 20 seconds or so in there, but there is no save mode anymore. Yeah, I got rid of it. Again, thanks for letting me know. That was a stupid idea. Yeah, come on, let's use our last clue here to reroll those dice. And are you kidding me? Now I'm back to my normal mode, right? So, yeah, we will continue to roll. There are no terrors. Come on. One of those. Yes, oof, of course. But it was costly. It was certainly costly. But okay, I will take it. So we were able to deal with that. So first of all, we will get a spell. That's never a bad thing. And that's a chant weapon, simply allows us to park a die. That's typically a good thing. Then we will add one doom, and this doom means we're adding a monster. Yes. And we are also adding one more of those. So we are at 4 out of 14. So that's at least something. Okay. That's the worst thing. That's the Wraith. Okay, I was thinking this was the worst, but no, this Wraith is the worst, for sure. Where can I add it now? That's the problem. So we have dealt with that. That's at least something. So the Great Hall of Saliana goes to her, so she can use it. And you must be. She's still blessed. That's at least something. But we don't have any spaces, so we have to place them underneath one. And this Wraith, as you can see, will lock the red and the yellow die. Amazing. So this is now really one I want to solve. And I guess I think we are doing this because there is a chance that Joe might be able to deal with that. But that was horrible. That was truly horrible. And yeah, we need 4 of those. I can't believe my luck. But okay, that's that. We will move back here to the main screen. So the clock will strike 12. We will reveal a secret. The next time the clock strikes midnight, which just happened, each investigator gains clue token. That's something that doesn't happen very often, but I totally take that. So 1 goes in here. Joe Diamond has now 3, and Sister Mary has 1. Okay, that's pretty amazing. And yeah, that was that. And then we are revealing our next mythos card, actually. So let's see what we get. Maybe I can zoom in on the museum. Yeah, let's try that. Doom comes. Of course, Doom will come. Each cursed investigator rolls 1 green die. Each investigator who rolls a terror result is devoured. What? What? And this is no test, so we cannot use rerolls on these things. So that's like rolling a 1. So let's assume you have a Dark Pact in Eldritch Horror. And you're rolling the 1, and then usually bad stuff will happen, and not seldom are you being devoured or something like that, or you are whatever hitting the lead investigator and giving them 5 damage or whatnot. Okay, that's brutal. But nothing we can do about this. There are no lingering effects today. Maybe that's somewhat of a consolation prize. I don't know. So we will start from left to right. So Carolyn. But maybe Joe is the lead. It doesn't matter. We will start from left to right. So that's Carolyn. No, that's okay. That's not a tarot symbol. Then Joe Diamond. That's not a tarot symbol. And then we have Sister Mary. And oh, I really have seen them falling all, actually. This would have easily added 3 tokens there, and then this would have taken me some time figuring out new investigators. Of course, I have them prepared here, and but still finding those little tokens, that's the horrible stuff. Maybe that's something I should consider. Maybe I should start using the standees from Eldritch Horror. So let's think about that. But anyway, that's not great. So the idea for Joe Diamond was to go for the hallway on fire. 1, 2, 4 dice in theory to make that. He has a lot of rerolls, and you're not cursed, are you? I think kind of I am. So these dice really do typically hate me. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah. Am I cursed? No, I think. Or am I miss? No, I'm not cursed. No, 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 no. I'm not cursed. So yeah, what? Yeah, now you brought me out of concept. Actually, okay. No, we will go with Joe Diamond, and each time Joe spends one clue token, he gains a second free reroll. So he should be somehow able to make it, right? But again, also famous last words. I hear you here. He doesn't roll any additional dice, but they're locked here anyway. And he's not blessed, so he can also not use the blessed die. But okay, let's see about that. So we are going, where are we? He's here, hallway on fire, and yeah, there's a terror effect. And we have to do these from top to bottom. So we cannot even get rid. So we have to do this in, oh, that was a stupid idea, maybe. That was a stupid idea. So typically you're really trying to do this first to get rid of this, and then you have at least freed the monsters, and you can still fail at the adventure here. But okay, that's me. It's still possible for him, I guess. Okay, here we have the peril which we needed. Perfect. So, but this means he gets one more wound. So yeah, he definitely takes some hits here. That's for sure. But okay, that was the idea all along. Then we continue. And yeah, that's another one. That's in here. He takes another wound, unfortunately. So he's already at 3 out of 6, half dead basically. And then we can now really start working on those, yeah, clues. Let's continue to roll. Yeah, we need those 4. Then we would free up and we would gain a lot of these things and 2 unique items. So that's not a bad thing. Ah, you're kidding me. Okay, we have 2 and we have 3, though that's obviously not 4. So I guess we are rolling, yeah, we are using one of our little clue tokens. We will re-roll those 2 dice. Can you still see that? Oh no, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Oh, sorry, I didn't pay attention. Best Alicia Keys voice. Sorry, it was the wrong camera, but this is the current situation here. We are using one of our tokens to re-roll those 2 dice. Oh, that's totally on me. Oh, sorry for that. Okay, live and learn. Yeah, we will totally roll that again. We get a second re-roll with him. Let's roll it, and that's enough. Perfect. So we have made this thing here too, which means we are freeing up those dice. They'll go back. It goes in here. We will take this as a clue, right, Barathia? It goes in here. The hallway on fire is being dealt with. We are getting 2 of those unique items. Okay, that's the Lamp of Alhazaret and the Pallet Mask. Again, most of those are already red dice, but yeah, we will be able to make good use out of those for sure. This goes to his. He's already at 6 trophies. That's not bad, actually. And we're revealing a new location. I think this was the one he spent. And here we have the mysterious puzzle box. Entry, 2 monsters appear. So when we go there, 2 monsters will come up. That's one of the new ones, it seems. But it also provides us 1 extra clue. Elder Sign, that's the name of the game, right? Yeah, but that's that. Let's zoom back. We will move 1 space ahead. We're already at 3 p.m. and then I guess it's Sister Mary. I'm moving over here. Chars. Okay, Sister Mary is in an okay shape, I would say. She has still the food instead of losing 1 stamina. I think for her that's pretty valuable, actually. She has 1 reroll, but nothing else. That's the thing. She could use locked dice, but she doesn't have any things which would give her locked dice. Maybe let's have a quick look. She has 2 trophies, and for 2 trophies she could go for a common item, which might also not be the worst thing to do for her, to get for her. But let's go back here. 2 more monsters. Don't really fancy the idea. And the terror. This is, this is still bad. This is so bad. Hidden temple. These are really not great. I mean, one of the best ones is still this one here, so she could get blessed, but again, that's 2, 3, 4 dice in total. She only has 1 reroll and nothing else. I guess she really needs to prep. Maybe really going to the souvenir shop may not be the best thing. The thing is, she could go for 2 more clue tokens, but I think the common item might be the better deal. On the other hand, what here? We roll 3 dice, so we can go to the lost and found. This could be pretty cool for each die result. So we could lose a lot of sting, but we could gain clues, common item or spell. But it's more likely that we will lose sanity here. We don't need to heal. And the chapel, that's 8 right there to become blessed. So that doesn't help either. Yeah, what do you think, guys? No, I think we will go to the souvenir. She has to prep. She really has to prep for sure. So we will send her here. She will spend her 2 trophies that she has. And there's no change, by the way, but that's okay. You can do that twice. So I could go for 2 clue tokens, but I guess giving her an extra card might be the better deal here. And that's a rifle, which would give her a yellow die. I think that's a good one. And she can roll that even if it's not. I think that's okay. Yes, I think that's, I like that. But this also means we are moving already here to 6. We are moving back to our characters. It's Carolyn. I think she has used, oh, was it this day or the last day? Wait a second, she started 1, 2, 3. I think she should be able to use it again, right? We are now on a new day. Yes, I'm pretty sure about that. So she will use it now to heal her guardian angel, Sister Mary. And then what are we going to do next with her? She's in a really okay shape. She's blessed and everything, so she can go places. But she also has 4 tokens, so in theory, maybe she also could go there for 4 tokens. She could go for a spell or whatever. Or maybe also for 8, you can bless someone, right? Yeah. That's also not terrible, but I think, yeah, we don't have 8 yet, of course. No, let's go zoom into the what. I really don't fancy this. So now I'm already started to tempted to go for this one. This gives us a new location. A monster, yes, that's not nice, but the elder sign is nice. Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, come on. Discard one. She has a spell. She could even discard the spell. Okay, so there is a chance. There is a slight chance she will be able to make it. So let's go to the repugnant tome. I'm not sure what you think, but I'm okay. We have to go there anyway, sooner or later. We need those elder signs, right? So she's rolling this. She is still blessed, which means she's rolling this. And now I guess, yeah, let's definitely also use the Derringer, which will add the yellow die to the mix, and then we are rolling an awful lot of those dice. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Yeah, the good thing is we didn't roll a terror, which means we haven't failed that task. The not the good thing is we didn't make it any progress whatsoever. So I guess it's now really time to spend our clue. And by the way, we get to choose. We could decide now, that's a terrible start, we will fail, we will take the penalty right away, and then we can anytime we can decide to fail the adventure. But I think in this case we will simply re-roll all of those. We have spent our little foot, and I think that's more like it. And I guess we will be able to make it to perfect. Again, we have rolled terror symbols, but again, as we have made the task, we are not triggering the terror symbol. We will use the enchant weapon though for this die here. so anyone could use it later on. And here I'm not even sure, can you park the curse, the blessing die on this thing? That's an interesting thing actually. Can you park the white die on a spell? It may be assigned to tasks, reroll, focus, discarded, or targeted by card effects such as spells. So in this case, I think it's pretty obvious we will put our blessed die on top of this. That's how I understand it. Let me know if that's incorrect, and I will happily exchange that. But I think I'm okay. I have not made the task yet, so I may still need to use it right away, but I can still re-roll. And that's okay. Let's remove one die. We can continue to roll. Of course, I will, before I'm getting the terror effect, I will use my enchanted weapon here. And this would be it now. So this would be now the situation where we would think, okay, we have not made the task and we have rolled a terror. So we would discard a spell or would be devoured. In this case, I will totally use to make the test. So unfortunately, again, we have used the spell right away. But we have at least made this test here. Amazing. I mean, that was pretty cool stuff. So we are adding yet another elder sign to the mix. We are bringing out a new other world. Let's zoom out of here. And that's the Plateau of Lang. Doom 2 and 1. That's not an easy one. That's really not an easy one, the Plateau of Lang here. But we also have to bring out another monster. And we can bring out the monster in here, and we can draw first. So let's see. I'm really not looking here, and you must be kidding me. These monsters are locking my dice. That's the Hound of Tindalos. I still think let's park this here because it makes this somewhat easier, I guess. We are losing 3 hours when we go there and go through that task, but I still think that's worth it. Of course, we have to lock the yellow die. The white die goes back to the pool. She was able to make this, so she also has now 6 trophies, which isn't bad. And of course, we are bringing out a new one here, and then it's quiet. Oh yeah, it's really quiet. At midnight, discard this adventure and do not replace it. Oh no! We need 12. Oh boy, I think we have to try it, because otherwise we will basically run to the end of this stream with only 5 normal adventures out. And I don't want that, right? Oh, what do you think, huh? Now I think we have to go there. I think we have to go to 9 anyway. So that's our last chance, right? It's our last chance to deal with that. Yep. We have to do it now or never. I mean, yeah, the penalty is pretty gruesome too, but I have to do that, right? So yeah, it's Joe's turn. It's quiet, and it's too quiet for Joe. And what's happening now? Well, now it's time to read some flavor. Although I could hear nothing outside, my senses were screaming at me that something was wrong. Very wrong. Okay, and this is what I really love about this game. It has so many nice little nuances, these midnight effects, that stuff will happen, how thematic those are sometimes in respect to the effects that are coming up. And there is so much going on. And this is, I don't know if you have ever seen this with the first expansion, that's a vast stack of these location cards. So no single game will ever be the same. And it's really replayable endlessly. Really, I love this game. You could put the monster at the new adventure. Thanks, Vangelis. I know the chat is unfortunately always a little bit delayed, but that's at least the idea. But this is something maybe which would you allow me to do if I see something as a hint or as a recommendation, it's not breaking the game in any way or not cheating, then I might be allowing myself to take some of these things back. In this case, yes, I did remember you are allowed to place the monster onto the new one. So thanks again for letting me know, Vangelis. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, Joe is here and he has to roll dice. He will go for, he will use the palette mask for sure, which would allow him to roll the red dice. He still has an awful lot of those. And even though if he has two of those dice, there's only one red die. So of two of these cards, there's only one red die. So no point rolling or using two cards here. And he totally has 4 rerolls, right, with his 2 clue tokens. So maybe that's something. We will discard the palette mask and we will roll. Let's zoom in. Every now and then I should check my cameras here. And that's not a bad start. What do you think, right? That's 4, that's 10, and that's 13. I mean, that was pretty solid, huh? What do you think? I mean, that was, yeah, I think that was a job well done. Cool. Totally worth it. So we're adding yet another clue. So we are at 6 out of 14. Still not quite there yet. So we still need some more to go. Not even half, but I take it. But he gets 2 clues, and clues are incredibly valuable for him because he can use them pretty much twice. Awesome. And he will also get this one here. We're not triggering the midnight effect. I think that was the key idea, right? So we're adding a new card, and that's the boiler room. Maybe let's zoom in again so that you can see that. And it's, oh, we can remove a doom token. That's a tasty one. That's a truly tasty one. But we are going to 12. There are no lingering effects. We have no midnight effects. Let's check that. No, we don't. We will simply remove this card. We are adding a new one. Let's bring it back here to the museum cam. There is no immediate effect today before the storm, or warning before the storm. The clock strikes midnight, add 2 doom tokens to the doom track. Yeah, these things do happen relatively often actually with these cards. So there's really nothing we can do about that. It's okay. I mean, this is how the game progresses in the end. And then it's Sister Mary's turn, right? What does she have? She has a reroll, she has a yellow die, and she could prohibit. And I think we can also, because it's a new day now, so Carolyn Fern could use her ability again. So where would we send her to? And I really like this game so much, and it's so much fun playing this live with you here. You cannot guess how much I like this experience right now. Despite all the difficulties I had with the technology, I really love this format. So Plateau of Leng would be actually quite good for her. She can use the yellow die. She could free it. She would need 1, 2, 3, 4 results. Her sanity is okay, so she could even live with the terror effect, and we would add another. So this would bring us to halfway there. On the other hand, the boiler room is also nice, but the boiler room could be dealt with Carolyn or Joe Diamond. So there's no immediate stuff. So I think, I mean, these are 4, but here we would free up the yellow die for someone else maybe, and she can use it. So I guess, yes, I have talked me into this. So Sister Mary, where is she? I think she's here at the souvenir shop. She will go to the Plateau of Leng. Yes, we want to get rid of that die. I think that's the idea. She cannot use the red die because she doesn't have a card, but she will use her rifle. Yes, let's do that. And again, she is allowed to do that because of her special ability, which I already forgot, I think, during the very first day or very first round or so. And this is something we can do in any order, which means, yeah, we could try to get rid of that Hound of Tindalos. It's a Hound of Tindalos, right? Yeah, it is. Right away. And yeah, let's not do that, huh? That's a terror symbol, so I think we don't want to fail. So in this case, we could consider keeping those 2 and reroll this here with her. She still has a clue, right? I mean, she could go for it. No, I think let's spend the clue. The idea she could gain 2 more. So I guess, yeah, let's re-roll the rest here. And again, we are hoping for... Doesn't really matter anyway. Either this or another tarot symbol. Maybe another tarot symbol would be better, actually. And here we have the tarot symbol. Okay, that's something. I will leave that. Cool. Which means we have not triggered the tarot effect. We will continue to roll, but now we are looking for lore. And here's the lore. Woohoo! Wow, these guys are truly on fire. I like how things are going in this game. And honestly, I think this game is relatively quote-unquote fair. Yes, of course, if you play it for the first time, even on easy mode, yes, you will do terrible stuff, which I'm doing here, but I still think the game is fair because you typically have a lot of damage control in here. But yeah, so we have freed this monster. We don't have to deal with those tasks here because this was a task that was set on top of it. So we get 2 more trophies for her, which is cool. She will get this trophy here. She will go back to the entrance. We will get 2 clue tokens. We spent 1 and regained 2. That's something. We will add another doom counter. So I think that's not pretty, but yeah, we have to live with it. But now we are at 50% on our way to Azathoth. And the attack effect is cool, by the way. The end is here. Azathoth destroys the world. And we will also take this card as a trophy. So she's also back at 4 trophies. Not bad. Not really bad. So let's move on. We will go to 3 o'clock. And I think then it's Carolyn. In theory, she could use her special ability. Unless she can't, because no one has any sanity hits. So maybe for Joe Diamond, I guess it's time to send him to the chapel. But no, it's Carolyn's turn. Let's not get too involved here. She has the blessed die, so at least she's rolling some. But apart from that, nothing else. So that's not pretty. And I guess, yeah, where should we send her to? Sending her here doesn't help, because again, you cannot get a second blessing. And I think there is no, yeah, there is no benefit. Yeah, you could choose to whatever, gain a clue token, common item, or unique item if you get blessed again. But again, yeah, this would be test of faith, would be pretty much a waste. Would we be able to deal with 2 monsters? It's not bad. And if we park those monsters onto cards which we don't like, it's an idea. The Graced Writings, I think that's really something for someone who rolls at least 1 additional die. So if she would have another yellow or a red die with her blessed die, then maybe that would be her location to go to. This one, these are at least 2 dice, 3, 4, 5 dice which you need to match. So that's also more for Joe Diamond to go to. But again, she has 6 or 8. She has 6. She has 6. What can we do with 6 trophies? We could go for a spell and for a common item. Maybe we should send her to the souvenir shop simply to have her prepped. I guess that's what we need to do. So we send her to the souvenir shop. She will spend her 6 trophies here. With 1 spell, or should we go with 1 unique item or 2 unique items? Spells are okay, but I think we need more dice, right? That was the idea. So let's go for 1 unique item. That's the Enchanted Blade. And let's go for another unique item. Yeah, or it's a bit wasteful, but I think we want other colors too. It's a wasteful, but that's the automatic. That's perfectly fine. Let's do that. Okay, but I think we have to move on already, and then it's Joe Diamond. And I think he can really do stuff. On the other hand, he could heal. Is there something terrible to happen? Let's look at the locations, the boiler room here. In theory, he wouldn't lose anything. From a health, from a sanity, not sanity, from a stamina perspective, stamina it is. Do the non-green dice have better different faces? The non-green dice. That's a good point. But actually, the white dice does have a terror symbol. The white die is pretty much the same as a green die, and the same is true for the curse die. On the other hand, that's a good point. The red dice doesn't have a terror symbol because it comes with the wild card, so that's a good one. And I think the same should be true, yeah, for the yellow one too. Exactly, you're totally right. I misinterpreted you saying, no, you're totally right. Only the white and the black dice, they are pretty much the same. Thanks, Vangelis, for answering this. Yeah, I guess let's go to the boiler room. We could remove, and we're adding some more. I think that's actually a very good idea. So let's send him to the boiler room. There are no entry effects whatsoever. He's rolling those 6 green dice. He's definitely going to roll the red die. So he's spending the lump of Al-Hazret. And he has a ton of clues to reroll. And we can do these in any order, no terror. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So what do we have? What do we have? So in theory, yeah, let's go for this one here. That's typically the more difficult one, getting those. Do you have a lot of these clue symbols, these magnifying symbols? So I guess we are okay. So that was the first task. Let's continue to roll. And in case you didn't notice, you're only removing dice if you're failing a task on these things. And yeah, that's not great. We have the 4. I think it's now time to really start using those clues for him. He gets 2 rerolls out of this, so we are re-rolling the rest. That's also cool about this game. You can roll all, some, or 1 die with these things, and we are looking for a terror. We get a second reroll because of his special ability. So in case you came in late, it's written here. Each time Joe spends 1 clue token, he gains a second free reroll. As though we had spent second clue token, exactly. So we continue. That's the second reroll for his first token, and still not good enough. So I think we have to spend another one and continue to reroll. Are you kidding me? But he gets a second reroll for that token. Yes, and there we are. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we have made it. That's I think was pretty helpful actually. So let's move in here. So we're removing 1 doom token. Always happy to do that. We are adding 1 more elder sign, so we are now at 8 out of 14. 6 more to go, and we will get a spell for him. Again, in this game, it really doesn't matter too much who is carrying those spells and who doesn't. So there's nothing that you have to roll lore tests or whatever. That's simply not important here. Everyone can hold those spells or whatever. The Voice of Ra. After rolling, discard to change 1 die to the result of your choice. Yeah, okay, that's amazing. Obviously, cool stuff. And by the way, after rolling, I believe this is one of the spells you can use outside of your turn. It says after rolling. I think that's the case for those things. That's something I always played incorrectly. I think you can use those basically on any player's turn. Let me know if you disagree. Also. And thanks. Yeah. Vangelis, I just see that chat. Yeah, sorry, of course. Because of the Hound of Tindalos, we are already 1 or 3 hours ahead. So let me fix that here. Cool. Thanks. That definitely was helpful. Cool. Yeah, I have taken care of this. So, and we have gotten the spell, we have added this, we will send him back. We gain 2 trophies here, but this also means we have to go back to our main cam here. So we are going to 12, which again we have now, because the Hound of Tindalos cost us some time, but luckily we didn't browse through the day here just yet. So I think that's still okay. We are adding 1 more thing. I nearly forgot that this happens before we are advancing the clock. So if there would have been any midnight effects, they would have triggered now. but we were kind of lucky in this case. And yeah, there was, yeah, of course, then we have the basically lingering effect. The next time the clock strikes midnight, which just happened now, we're adding 2 doom. And this was the main reason why I was so eager removing that doom token here, because we are not adding another monster here. That was definitely lucky, I would say. Cool. This was Joe Diamond. He spent 2 of his feet, sorry. I think we should add it to him. He did that to the boiler room. He's now at 10 or so. But I think this was totally worth it. This was totally worth it. So we had with Sister Mary. She now has 2. She has still her food, so not pretty. But she also has 2 trophies. So again, it might be worth considering sending her getting 2 more common items right now. So there's no immediate rush, I would think. But not sure what you think, actually. This administration office, that's 1, 2 thing. I mean, she really wants some more yellow or red cards. So maybe the vermin in the pipes might be okay, but this also would require her 4 rolls, but that's 2 of those. And it's only 1 which she could dodge. I think that's the better deal for her. Let's send Sister Mary to chase some vermin in the pipes. Yes, let's do that. She cannot use any extra dice whatsoever. At least she can do those in any order, but she has at least some clue token. And again, the result is not terrible, or the penalty is not terrible here. So let's see. That's okay. Cool stuff. So we have a 3. And again, unfortunately, we cannot park the other 3. If we would have a spell now, I would even consider going for the 3 here, but it is what it is. Cool. Let's continue to roll. That was the first task. Then, yeah, that's not pretty. So we will park this and we will re-roll those 4 dice with one of our clue tokens here. And we are hoping for a 3, and here's the 3. I take that. Again, we can do these in any order. Now it's the last task in the middle. And these are 3 more clues, and there's no terror effects, but this is not really something. Let's spend the remaining 1 here to reroll all of those. And perfect. Here's the 3. Oh yeah, she's really good. They're all really cool. Awesome stuff. So we get 1 clue token back, and we will draw 2 more common items. So let's see what we get. Green die, it's a lantern, and a knife. Again, doesn't really matter which one it is. It's simply 2 more yellow dice. But I think that was totally worth it. Awesome. So we are moving her back. And I think I didn't add another card, right? Yeah. Ah, come on. I need to slow down. So yeah, but I rolled dice, so I will not take it back. But of course, I should have brought out another mythos card. Not sure what would have happened. Advance the clock 3 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we are hasting or waste. Add 1 doom token to... Ah, no, we get to choose. Sorry. That's one of those choose cards. Let me zoom up a little bit to the museum. Yes, you should be able to see that. Yeah, Joel, thanks for stepping by. Really appreciate your time. Great that you could make it. Amazing, really great stuff. So this is one of the new ones we can choose. We can advance the clock 3 times, or we add 1 doom token. The doom token would add 1 more monster. And again, for Azathos, adding more doom tokens is not the best thing in the world. So I think in this case, yeah, we will stick to the plan. 1, 2, and 3. We will haste or waste. So we have taken care of this. So nothing else will happen in this one here. Right, but okay. Now we have dealt with her card, right? So sorry, I'm a little bit out of order. So she was able to get this, which means she gets another trophy. We are adding a new card. Tempest in the Teapot. That's a good one, but we have to do these in order. but possible for Carolyn now. The thing now is, because we have advanced this one here, midnight will strike again, which means now I'm doing this correctly. There are no at midnight effects. No, we are not. We will bring out a new mythos card, and that's a red one where you get to choose. Great. Death or taxes. One investigator is devoured. Each investigator discards all common items and unique items. I could make a case, and I'm already regretting that I put in the red cards, because so far we were doing okay actually. I could make a case to get rid of Joe Diamond, even though he has a ton of these things. Maybe that's the plan, but we have now also so many common items actually. We would lose no spells, right? So that's these two and these three. Maybe that's not the end of the world actually. Let's not devour, because this would also add another token. Yeah, let's get rid of the stuff. Okay, I might regret that, but I guess that still we can keep the spell. We will get rid of this, right? Yes, but we keep our clues too. Yeah. Yeah, that was not pretty. Definitely not. But okay, that was the midnight effect, and now I was really feeling very confident actually to send Carolyn to the Tempest in a Teapot here actually. But now she doesn't have any more reroll, but she also doesn't have any more cards or trophies, that is. We could put a monster in here, and then another monster would go somewhere else. Timothy, hello from the Midlands in the UK. Oh wow, I'm honored. I'm really honored. Thanks so much for stopping by, Timothy. Really appreciate it. Wow, I'm blushing. Really happy I'm not using a face cam, at least not yet. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anyway, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This could be okay actually for her, but that's also that's at least 3 dice, 4 dice here, but she would get some more rerolls back, so possible. Here, yeah, but 2 monsters, I don't feel like 2 monsters right now. 1 monster here is okay. If it would be 1 monster, I would consider it for sure, but 2 seems an awful lot. This one, that's at least 2, 3, 4 dice. 2 other worlds, but we have to do this in order, and we're adding the Doom token, right? No, let's do another prep turn for her. Let's go to the administration office. Again, the result is also not bad. Does this mean we have to spend 1 penalty? I think that's the first time I'm seeing something like this on the penalty side. Or would we, even if we fail this adventure, if you would we still get the clue token here? Huh. I think we get still a clue token even if we fail. But let me know. And yeah, we could lose her blessed condition though. But yeah, I have to do something with her, right? There's no point in parking. And again, we can do those in any order anyway. So it doesn't really matter which order we are going for, so I think we will go for this. We have no spell which we could use to park this die here, so we have to continue going, but at least that's a solid start. I will not re-roll that whole die. It's either this or this, but it doesn't matter because we have rolled the 9 magnifying glasses we needed here. Perfect. But again, let me know if I still would gain this as a quote-unquote reward penalty or so. I don't remember this actually. I Again, I played this game an awful lot of times, but I never stumbled upon, because what would happen if you don't have it, for example? Don't you lose it? I think you would still gain it. But okay, that's the administration office. We get 2 more clues for her. I think that's at least something. Yep. And she gets the trophy. I think that's definitely a good part about this. And then we have the riot in the streets. We have a terror effect. And, oh, that's a cool card, actually. That's a cool card. This would have been amazing for him, for Joe, but yeah, nothing I can do, right? So let's go to 3. I hope I didn't miss this. I think I should be okay time-wise. I think we can get rid of this awful card here. And then again, it's Joe Diamond. He has basically an auto hit here with the voice of Ra. So definitely worth considering too. And again, he has 4 rerolls with this. So in theory, he should be able to make something happen here. So I'm really tempted to go for the Tempest in a Teapot here. On the other hand, the Riot in the Street is also amazing. Don't you then have to lose one? Okay, that's a good point, Steph. I would think so, yes. Typically, only bad stuff happens on the left-hand side of the cards, but maybe it's actually outlined in the rules. Again, these are rules I don't read that often, actually, because I tend to think I know this game. No, but the rules really say, clue, for each of these icons gain 1 clue token. So I think you basically can get 1, but maybe that's only me. I think the iconography is also relatively clear in the rules, but typically nothing I read a lot, actually. And I think, wow, 13 concurrent viewers, amazing! Wow, that's didn't believe that at all. Okay, guys, what do you think? Tempest in a Teapot or Riot in the Streets? I think they're both doable for him. Here he would gain 2 items and a thing. Yeah, he would regain, maybe for him these are also powerful. And but here the result or the penalty is much worse, I guess. Again, 1, 4 dice, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 dice actually. And as he's not rolling any, no, I think then in this case, let's go for the Riot in the Streets, right? Or should we go shopping? He has really a lot of dollars, actually. Let's go shopping. Let's go shopping with him. He has so many of those things, so I guess let's go to the souvenir shop. He wants a unique and a common item. Well, that's 5 trophies in total. So there's no change. So we are discarding 3 cards. So these are 6, which means, yeah, I still think it's better to diversify here a little bit. Okay, that's the museum map. Before moving, discard 1 adventure card along with all monsters on it. Wow! That's so cool! That's so cool. We could now trigger the mysterious puzzle box and at least get rid of 1 monster of those. Actually 2. That's pretty nice. Cool. That was the yellow one. I think that was already a very good draw. And the unique item, the king in yellow, it's simply a red die. Cool. Then we will advance the clock. And then it's Sister Mary. Maybe I should have healed, actually. Okay. Missed opportunity. I think you would get a clue. When you lose, there is a line drawn on top of the icon. Ah, okay, interesting. Never seen this before. Maybe in some of the other expansions. Thanks, Vangelis. Thanks for clarifying this. Yeah, Sister Mary. Mary, Mary, you're on my mind. Sorry, I will stop singing. And I think this is in excess song, right? Should we? I mean, she now still has 6 trophies. So for her, getting 2 unique items wouldn't also be bad, actually. Yeah, I think we have to go through this prep turn because of this horrible, horrible mythos card, right? So yeah, we will also send Sister Mary to the souvenir shop. I think she will simply go for 2 unique items. She has 6 in total, so she will spend all of those. The monster goes back to the cup, by the way, and she will simply go for 2 unique items. The Dragon's Eye and the Gate Box. Okay, here was really hoping for some red dice, but let's see what those are. Before moving, discard, okay, that's the same thing. Discard to draw 1 other world card and place it below the 6 adventure card. Cool, you can basically open another location. Yeah, that's not bad, but I was really hoping for some more dice, but some of those, yeah. I mean, it's okay. It would be really boring if all of those would simply only show a red or yellow die or so. I think I really like the flavor here. But here I was really hoping for just a red dice, at least one of those. Okay, we are advancing the clock. Then we are moving back to Carolyn. She's at least okay. She has an extra die. I think she didn't fail, right? No, she didn't. Because otherwise she would have, but you would have let me know. I'm pretty sure you have me covered. You have my back. Appreciate it. So she can, I think, can do stuff, because for her, going to the museum doesn't help her, to the entrance. So here I'm now really tempted to go for the ride in the streets now. Yeah. Let's go to the ride in the streets. She could lose stamina, which, yeah, but I think, yeah, again, we have to take some risks now. So again, she will roll the white die. But yeah, we have to do this in order. In this case, that's okay. I think it would be much worse if this would be other way around, because then we really have to wait for the nine symbols to show up. But yeah, there are really a lot of these magnifying glasses on there. I didn't roll a single one, and we did trigger the terror effect on this case. I will, yes, totally use my reroll to reroll all of those. So there's, oops, no point in holding back. Okay, and that's not great actually. So we have already spent 2 dice for this task. We still have 5 more to go, so don't get me wrong, that's still okay. But typically you are hoping for 3 actually to appear. Alex, I must leave. Yeah, thanks. Wow, Barcelona, amazing. My uncle actually lives not too far from Barcelona, and he's, I think, visiting us tomorrow night is arriving. So greetings back to Barcelona. Beautiful city, really beautiful city. And okay, yeah, that's definitely not what I was expecting. So I guess we will have to re-roll again. And then I really have to hope this has to better work. Maybe it would be better the other way around. And of course, that's not good enough. It's not a terror symbol. I think now we will start failing. I think this would be the first time that we would fail something. So I guess I'm okay. Yeah, but okay. So now we are doing something new, and this is focusing, because we have failed a task. We still have to remove a die for that, but at least we get to keep going, and we can now use this die, the focus die. It's like a spell, but again, you can only use it on this current adventure, and only if you're failing something. And in theory, if someone else would be here, you could also, I think, assisting is then the other term. So if there are other tokens on there, you could then spend those too. And yeah, that's terrible. There's no reroll. We have failed this, which means that's a terror symbol, so we are getting a hit. Yeah, it had to happen sooner or later. And then I guess, yeah, we have to remove a die, and now we are looking for 2 3s actually in order to make it. Otherwise, we are toast. There's 1 3. You must be kidding me. That was really, it was a terrible result. So Not only are we taking another hit, because again, it was a terror symbol, of course, it had to happen. No, we have also failed now, because again, we have to remove a die, and now we are basically not able to roll 9 more of those. And that's the reason you see that here. This one die, losing this early on, definitely a problem. So we are definitely adding now a Doom token. Again, it had to happen at some point in time. So let's add a monster to that. And the monster is... Ooh, what is this? The Star Vampire. Wow. Wow, okay, yeah, that's 3 things. Again, we will add it here. I mean, it's 2 dice, and now we need 3 dice in order to get rid of it. But yeah, that's where we have to place it. But we have a lot of these cards which would help me to do this before. Exactly, we could do this one here, the museum map, to get rid of it and draw a new one. But this is a cool card, actually, so I'm not sure if we really want to do that. But yeah, it is what it is. She has basically failed. Oh, this also means she's losing her blessed condition, by the way. If you fail an adventure, exactly, so we are no longer blessed. That's a pity. But she can stay here if she likes. And then we have midnight, right? Yes, we do. So let's draw our next card. Oops, where is it? Lost. Wait a second. No, this one fell out. I have to be fair. This fell out. This was red. Hopeless or doomed. Okay. Okay. Again, we have to make a choice. Let me see. Let me zoom down here. Close the first aid station entrance card for the rest of the game. Which would be this. Yeah, you can heal there. Add 2 doom to the doom track. Yeah, I think in this case, because it's Athos, we have to do that, right? What do you think? Add 2 doom tokens to the doom track? No, that's not okay. With others, maybe, yes, but I think here we have to close the first aid station. Yeah, that was one of the first times that this stuff will happen. Not sure if this only happens on those red cards, but yeah, this will never happen on the standard thing. This was Carolyn, right? And now I'm really confused. Yeah. Okay. So then we are moving back to Joe Diamond, right? He spent stuff, right? As far as I remember, yeah. Wow, what are we doing with him? He's okay, actually. So in theory, let's move back. In theory, he could go to the right in the streets. He's rolling an extra die, but he could also get rid of something terrible. So on the other hand, we could also go in here. We will spawn. Oops, my chat died. Okay. 2 monsters would appear. One could go in here, for example. It's totally on us, and another one could go, I don't know, somewhere else. Maybe a location which we don't care about. Maybe the hidden temple here, for example. And then we could get rid of it through one of the Dragon's Eye or the museum map here, for example, and then basically be gone with it. So that's a potential idea, and maybe that's not the worst thing in the world to consider. Thing is, this could be done by anyone, right? So yeah, of course, it's still a 6 in theory. I know that's 3 monsters actually, so that's also maybe. Let's go in here. Let's go to the right in the streets, because Carolyn will not be able to make it now. She's no longer blessed. Maybe she could go up here then next, for example, and go for the test of faith, for example. And he can deal. Now, okay, he's also pretty shaken now. So we have to be careful, right? That's tough. Yeah, let's go in here. I think we want progress. Where is the he's here in the souvenir shop, right? So we will go here to the right in the street. We cannot heal anyway right now. That's bad. So he might get devoured. So what are we doing? That's 6 red dice. He's definitely going to spend, yeah, we want the progress, right? He's going to spend the king in yellow for the red dice. He still has 2 more clue tokens, which are 4 rerolls, right? Yeah, 4. And okay, so this is much better. We will do this. There's no choice. In theory, if you would have a spell now, we would park this die for sure. No questions asked. But we have to reroll. Yeah, he has the voice of Ra, but we can change the die face. Yeah, same. I'm not saying it's same stuff. So we are using the reroll. The first one, again, he gets to reroll those 2. I think that might be okay. 4, 7, and 9. Cool. You made it. You made it. You're a star. So they both go back. She could have helped him in theory. We have not triggered anything. We will add another of these tokens. So let me do maybe 5 stacks. Now I think this will help me a little bit more. So that's 9 out of 45 more to go. I think the stream is already nearly 2 hours long. It's really not that long of a game. He gets a unique item. That's at least something. The nameless cult. So that's another red die for him. And a yellow item. Oh wow, that's not doesn't happen often that you get a red die from a yellow card. Typically they're also yellow, but sometimes it happens. And of course he gets the thing here, which then gives us a new one. Did you hear that? Oh, we are locking another yellow green die, which is okay because Sister Mary is up next, so she could consider going. I think she should do that actually. You can still steal. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. What does she roll? Let me see. She has 1 reroll. The gate box. Maybe she should use the gate box next. Yeah, I think just to have before it's gone, let's open a gate. So she will use the gate box now to open up another gate, and that's what is it? That's the Dreamlands. Let me see. The Dreamlands. Well, that's a nice one actually. So maybe she would go there because again she can use the green die. But should she go there to unlock this green die? I think it's still the better deal for maybe that's better for Joe to go here. I think I didn't move the clock for Joe. Okay, now it's Sister Mary. She's here. She will go to the Dreamlands. Yes, let's do that. She's not rolling any extra dice, but I guess it's doable. Oops. She has at least 1 reroll. 1 green die is locked, but she can use it because she's awesome. And then let's roll some dice and hope for the best, right? We need 1 of everything, basically. And is that 1 of everything? No, that's pretty horrible stuff, actually. Okay, we can hold on to this, and we will have to re-roll the rest here, right? Yeah, let's do that. So she will spend the 1 and only clue she has. And you must be kidding me. I mean, there are no terror effects whatsoever on those cards, but that's really horrible. So she fails, so she will focus this die. She has to remove 1 die. Okay, now I think things are going south pretty fast. Okay, so now she rolls this. Yeah, but again, nothing else she can do with that, right? She has still parked this. You know, another skull. Do we have anything for a skull? That's now the point, guys. I need to wait. Maybe Vangelis, you know that. Joe Diamond has this spell here, the Voice of Ra. And it says, after rolling this card to change 1 die to the result of your choice. Can you use these kind of spells outside of your turn? Huh. Oh wait, it says here. Using items. A player may only use his items, clues, spells, and allies during his turn. He cannot use them during another player's turn. Any player may use a die secured. Okay, no, it's clear. But for whatever reason, I thought this would be partial. But I think it makes sense. You have to use that. After rolling this card to change one die. Yeah, I think it has to go. Okay, so this doesn't work. So we have to basically get rid of another die and roll those. We are looking for 3 and a skull. Or a peril, I think. That's the thing. Okay. We have the skull, but we have one. Okay, we have. Yeah, now we are rolling again. We're hoping for 2 6s pretty much. And no, of course not. Again, the penalty is okay-ish. We will simply take a sanity hit. So that's not the end of the world, but of course we have lost. Yeah, she didn't really lose a lot, actually. I think it was okay. Of course, we are losing some time. So let's move down here. And then we are moving back to Carolyn. She will now use her special ability to heal Sister Mary. That's at least something, but then what is she going to do? And I think, yeah, we have to bring back that yellow die here. And I guess now it might be time to go to the mysterious puzzle box. For her, because again, she's only rolling 5 dice now. She doesn't have, I think now things are really turning south. Oh, so terrible, guys. But it has to happen. No, I think we will bring her here to the mysterious puzzle box. Again, entry, 2 monsters appear. So here's the first one. It blocks the red die. You must be kidding me. It has to go in here. So this is now really a terrible one. So I guess if when Joe moves, he will discard this card here. Yes, I think everything gets discarded here. I think that's then we have to do that one more time. That's a maniac. And a maniac can pretty much go anywhere. I think we will place the maniac down here. Can you see that? Yes. Because we have 2 of those cards to get rid of monsters. So here's a terror one because it locked 2 dice. Here we have one that has 2 monsters. I think that's an okay position right now. But still, we have to roll this scroll here. Otherwise, oh yeah, I didn't think this through. Otherwise, she will be devoured. She doesn't have any rerolls whatsoever. I really need your fingers crossed now. All the thumbs in the world. And yes, this was an epic failure, part 1. But there are no terror symbols on these things. Oh, come on. You must be kidding me. Yes! Oof! I really already saw her die. Actually, it says on the card if you can use it. Ah, it says on the card. Awesome. I thought it was mentioned somewhere. Thanks, Vangelis. Again, really appreciate it. Great to have you on my side here. So good that I didn't use it. Actually, yeah, I think I believe I read it somewhere, and then I think it must have been on the card. So awesome. We were successful here, which means we're adding yet another one. We need 4 more to go. Yes, that's 5 and 5. So we have 10 in total. No, we are here. What here, of course, and we have to add another monster now. But again, we can add the monster onto this card here. This is cool now. So she has now something to do. Let's bring out another card. Lights out. That's a pretty dark. And okay, what do we have here? A Shoggoth. A Shoggoth. Where do we bring the Shoggoth? We cannot simply put it here too. We have to, when we are bringing them onto cards that are, let's say, don't have monster spaces, or the white ones here, for example, we have to spread them out as evenly as possible. So which one? I think let's bring it here. I think this hidden temple is a very gruesome place to be, so let's not go there, actually. And then we are adding 3 more hours in here, and then it's Joe Diamond's turn. He's in an okay shape. he has a lot of things, but I guess before he moves, he will use the museum map now. So let's bring it over here. Before moving, discard one adventure card along with all monsters on it, replacing it with a new adventure card. Discard other world cards. Okay, so which means this monster is no more. The green die is no longer locked, and we are removing this card. We are bringing out a new one, and that's Horrible Visions at midnight at 2. And we are, of course, one step away from midnight. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Okay, but I think we might be able to go here yet again. That's another Elder Sign. But that's okay. We have, what was it? What have we played? I hear the museum map, exactly. That was the one. But still, I think let's go to the Horrible Visions. And we will use the dynamite, I guess. Yeah, why not? And this will bring out the red dice. The terrible intelligence knows my intentions. Okay, he has one more reroll, and he has the voice of Ra, which he can use now on his turn. I'm playing this correctly. We really want to get rid of this one here. Okay, we have rolled the thing here. That's bad now, actually. Yeah, one goes in here, and now we have to make a choice which one. In theory, we could use, but I think we are not there yet. So here is now really like rolling a die, coin flip, pretty much. Doesn't really matter what we are rolling here. We will do this, right. We have to spend the red die, unfortunately, already. And okay, that's this. And I guess we will use his... No, we are not, I think. Or you should use the spell now. I want to hold on to his reroll, actually. We will use the voice of Ra. On the other hand, that's a guaranteed hit. But if we are now rolling... No, let's go for the guarantee. We want to get rid of it for sure. We will use the voice of Ra. That's the spell, which means we can put this onto any face. I think this needs to become a law, which means we have solved this one here. We are adding yet another token to it, and we are getting another unique item for him. And wow, the Sword of Glory, yellow and red. I take that for sure. That was certainly worth taking. He's going back here. Horrible Visions are no more. Cool. We are adding a new card, and it's a terror. Ooh, that's a pretty lame one, actually. And then we are moving into midnight, and then we are drawing our next card. And then another red. I shuffled the hell out of these cards. I really did. I really did. But okay, it's on me. Time slips away. Add one Doom token to the Doom track. Then resolve all midnight effects again. And draw a new mythos card. Okay, I think that's... Yeah, I'm not sure. We don't have any at midnight effects. I think that's the cool piece, maybe. So we're adding one Doom token, then resolve all midnight, and then draw another mythos card. There are no lingering effects, which means we can simply get rid of it. We are drawing a new one, and that's a fresh start now. Can you see that, actually? I think you can maybe bring it here. I think that's better for you to read. Use the red die as a lure. Oh, sorry, Vanguard. Yeah, that's really a problem. There's this awful long delay in between my doing stuff, and maybe I should simply slow down. Again, I'm still learning this whole live stream mode here and learning together with you. Maybe I really should slow down a little bit and wait for you. Apologies for that, but again, thanks so much for all your valuable contributions. So we have another choice, actually. A fresh start or needed 8. Each unique... Oh, that's a good one. We gain a unique item. Or we discard all adventure cards, then place... No, of course. Each investigator gains one unique item. Wow. What an amazing one. That's the one for Carolyn. Okay, the Necronomicon. After using this card, you gain one clue token. Are you kidding me? Then we're adding a card to Joe Diamond. Silver Key. Perfect. And then we're adding a card for Sister Mary, Obsidian Statue. Oh, that was an amazing card. Wow, 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 wow. So these are also good, actually. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. So this was Joe Diamond. We are moving to Sister Mary, who is in a relatively good shape now. So she's here, so she could do this again. And now she is kind of tempted doing this again because now she has the obsidian statue. On the other hand, she could use her dragon's eye now before moving. She's not moving, but it's her movement step actually. So maybe we want to get rid of the grazed writings here. But it's really not simple now. 2 monsters could be worth it actually. Let's do that. So she's using the dragon's eye. That's a unique item. So we're getting rid of those monsters. We are getting rid of this thing. And we are adding this. Maybe this will change stuff. The graveyard has a terror effect. Can you see it? Let's zoom down. And yeah, it brings out another world actually, which is never a bad thing actually. But I think she will stay where she is. So she will use her obsidian statue too to add her red dice. But yeah, it's still not simple. It's still not simple. Without having any re-rolls, that's kind of a bummer. But I still feel kind of lucky. And wow, what an awful roll actually. So we are doing this. We are parking this die. And why couldn't she roll a skull? Okay, so she focused, which means we remove one die, we will reroll the rest. And I think that's it. Yeah, okay, we have the law, we have the skull, and we have 3 of those clues. Whew! For a second, I was really shocked. So we are adding 2 tokens for her. And of course, the most important stuff, we are adding another Eldritch token here, which is now 12 out of 14, and she gets another trophy. I think, yeah, she doesn't have any trophies right now, but okay, I take that. I certainly take that. Then let's add 3 more hours. Let me check the chat. No, I think we seem to be okay. We are not replacing those other worlds. I think you have noticed this by now. Yeah. And then we are moving back to Carolyn. And I think her special ability should be free again, but there's nothing she can do. Or there's no one to heal in respect to sanity. So she would roll a red die, but she doesn't have any re-rolls. So this is with a red die and maybe a reroll, this would be okay. This is terrible. This is, wow, we are discarding all dice. Yeah, that's also, the graveyard is also pretty terrible actually. Maybe we should simply go for the blessed. So we could be cursed or we could be blessed. And she has 3, right? So maybe she should go to the souvenir shop for 3. We could go for another unique item, or she could go for a trophy and a common item. Let's do that. So she will go to the souvenir shop. She will spend her 3. Oops, can you see that? Yep, her 3 she has to gain a clue. She really needs a reroll. And we are drawing a common item for her, and that's a yellow die. I take that. Cool. I think that was a good prep turn for her. Sometimes you have to do this, so we are advancing the hour accordingly. Then we are moving back to Joe. And he really has a lot of dice now. So I guess it's really time to get cracking. Maybe we will go for the lights out here because it gives a spell and another. I think that's the best he can do, right? Yeah, let's do that. So he will go to the lights out. There's nothing to it. The only thing is you have to do these things in order. That's kind of a downer. We are using the Sword of Glory, which would add the red and the yellow die to the mix. And let's see, this is discarded. And he has one reroll token. That's 2 rerolls for him. So we have to use them wisely. So, okay, that's a 3. I take the 3. Good start. That's something. Now we have 2 and 2. That's not easy. That's really not easy. Let's see about that. Yeah, we do have in fact the 2 symbols, and I think we have to go for it. I think we have to go for it. Would you agree? I really hope you do. Let's continue to roll. And that's... Oh, wow! He made it without using any of his rerolls. Okay, you're a star. Joe, you're a star. At some point in time during the game, I was considering to sacrifice you for the greater good. I'm now really happy I didn't. You know, there was this... Remember, there was this card... Where do I have it? I think where you could either kill one, devour it, or lose all of those items. And I think I chose correctly. He chose poorly. One of my favorite movies, by the way. Awesome. So we are adding 1 more token. So we are already at 13 out of 14. And he's getting a spell. And again, spells are typically not a bad thing. Find gate. Oh, that's cool. Discard to draw 1. I think we can do that. Can we do that right now? I don't know. I will wait a second, because let me slow down. I can drink something. I really didn't drink for the last 2 hours now. Can I use this card right away? Because this might help the other investigators maybe finishing the game before something else terrible would come up. So, or do I have to wait until it's his turn again, basically? So let me know. I give you a minute. I mean, I will replenish this one here anyway. So this goes to his... Oh, wow, he's already swimming in the money. And we are bringing out a new one, the Storage Closet. Again, this is Find Gate card, which he has. Yeah, that's another Otherworld, which is also not bad. But of course, if we could play the card right now when we got it, we might as well bring out the Otherworld right away. And then maybe someone else could win. Because if we look back to our characters here, you see that Carolyn is also in a very good shape, actually. Basically, she could add 2 dice and she would gain a clue token. And she has a clue token. So, overall, not a bad chance. And right now, yeah, I mean, this is also doable. But yeah, this is really doing these in order. That's not easy. But on the other hand, getting rid of it might also not be the end of the world. So I'm still waiting for you guys. And I'm waiting, and I keep drinking my Coke here. I know I'm not getting paid, unfortunately, by these guys. And we're still having a solid viewer count. It's only 10, but actually I really totally do appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I know there are other great tubers out there, Heavy Cardboard, Paul Grogan, you name it. Yes, I think they're between 60 to 100 live viewers, but I think their channels are different size than mine is. So again, totally appreciating your time and sticking around with me. And it's relatively taking me quite some time, but I think that's okay. It's time worth spent. At least for me, I understand if you need to go somewhere else. But again, totally appreciate that you are here with me. And again, if I don't get an answer now within the next couple of seconds, I will play it safe and will not allow him to use the Find Gate right away. Because again, it feels like... I think you can. Okay, now I was saying it. Let's simply agree that I can. And I think you really can. Not sure bad. I mean, I could check the FAQ now. I mean, maybe I should have done that while I waited, actually. Let me see if I can quickly find something in the FAQ. Red and yellow die. Lock dice, investigators, items, spells, and clues. What do items and spell mean? When an ally instructs some spells per turn structure. Yeah, it doesn't also specify in the FAQ, I think, but let's simply agree we can. So we will bring out a new card. Oops. That's really, I think that's the hometown of Cthulhu. Can you see that? Yes, you can. It's a little bit overcommitment here. It seems 3 and an ally. And by the way, this guy totally reminds me of the Blues Brothers. Every time I see him, I want to watch the movie again. Of course, only the first part. Even though the second part was okay to some extent, actually. So the music was also pretty cool, but yeah, nothing beats the original, obviously. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On the other hand, here the effect would be worse. Here we would be able to survive, and I think it's Sister Mary's turn now anyway, so maybe, yeah, we will not be able to do that right away, I guess. Okay, thanks, let's move on. I think, yeah, we have not advanced the hour just yet. So we are moving to Sister Mary. She has two, so she could consider another prep turn. There are no real midnight effects, which would be also okay then. Yeah, what do you think? With 2, she could go for a common item and maybe really prep her for the next, because right now there's nothing. I mean, yeah, she could go for the test of faith. Then she would get cursed. But is it bad to get cursed right now? But she, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's another die too. Ah, come on, why not? It's much more fun than, again, going to the souvenir shop. So let's test our faith. Leap of faith. So she has at least some rerolls. That's something, and we can do these in any order. So let's see. And I guess that's an okay start. So 1 and 1. Yep. So we're looking forward to 2 more 3s actually. Okay, but we have done this. Let's do this. Yeah, no, I don't know. For the camera came. I think you can see it much better than I do actually. The overhead camera makes sense. Yeah, that's not pretty actually. So we are spending 1 of those to reroll this. All of those, and yes, well, barely, but barely is okay. So yes, awesome, test of faith, and that's also good. Maybe we get another cool adventure with, we need only 1 elder sign right now. So that's definitely something cool. So we are getting blessed, or she is getting blessed. I totally take that. She will also get another 2 of those money thingies, and then we are exploring a new card when night falls. And indeed, it's 1. It's 1. And right now that's really possible. Depends now a little bit what happens at midnight, which we will hit right now. So we are adding another card. Yes. And of course, okay, no, that's okay. A monster appears. We can deal with that. Let's do that first. So we're adding a monster, and that's another mummy. The mummy is back. We are adding the mummy here. I think that should be okay, which means this location is still open. But let's see what the lingering effect is. I didn't really read it yet. All adventure cards with at least 1 reward have 1 less reward today. No, we cannot. I mean, Sister Mary, in theory, could make it because she can ignore those lingering effects. Everyone else would now need to go for something else. Oh, that's so unfortunate. This was really, I think, the worst, one of the worst. I really would have preferred someone getting devoured at this point in time. But yeah, okay, it is what it is. So it's now, this was sister, she got blessed. It's Carolyn, exactly. She could heal someone, but there's no one to heal. Again, she could go for this adventure. She adds 2 dice and she has basically 2 real, because when she is using this, she also gains a clue token. Which in theory could mean she could make it here. The problem is that this is a task with 4 symbols. That's the critical part. This, not so much. That's okay. That's really okay. Though you need 6 dice, she has 8 in total. So there is certainly a risk. And right now there's not really a rush. So that's the thing. So she doesn't need to rush things. She could go for something easy. Nightfalls doesn't help her. But again, if she goes in here, she would, I guess, yeah, she would be devoured. And that's also not what I want at this point. And because she's in an okay shape, she cannot heal. She could go to the chapel. No, she could go to the lost and found to roll die. But there she could also basically lose 2 stamina. Or she could... with 1 more stamina, I would totally go here if she would have the healing power, but maybe we should simply go in here, because this wouldn't kill her. Yeah, this is really a waste, and I guess Joe Diamond could in here, but he also only rolls one extra die. Of course she... Oh, that's now so bad. I really don't want her to die right now, because next round everything could be okay, and then she's... No, I think we have to go in here. Let's really take it slow. Let's take it slow. I really hope you agree with me, but I guess we have to do the late. Maybe something cool comes up here too. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So are we adding extra dice in here? Or are we saying let's go for it, because again it's only 1, and yeah, discard 1. No, I think let's not spend it. Let's not spend any cards. We want to hold on to the card for something that's worth it. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's not a terror effect, because we were able to manage, so that's something. And then, yeah, awesome. Wow, amazing, cool stuff. So not triggering the terror effect here, so she gets simply 1 more, and she gets 1 trophy, which is never a bad thing. She's going back. We are revealing a new card. Maybe that's the beauty of things. The key to Beyond. Yeah, there are no things, no elder signs on it. We are adding this here, then we are moving to Joe Diamond, and in theory he has the same discussion. He could in theory consider this, because he's not going to die. Go for bottom middle. Bottom middle. You mean this one here? I really should wait. I really should wait. I should slow it down. Sorry guys. Really sorry guys. So he could go for it, or he could go in here. Also okay for him, because this would open up what he has a chance doing this here. He has 2 re-rolls, and he would not die from this. That's basically the point. Yeah, let's do that. Let's really do that. No, not here. We are going to relay. We are spending the silver key. Doesn't matter which one. We are adding the red dice to that. Thanks, Gengel. Oh, well, thanks, Vangelis. Really, really appreciate all your comments, that you're hanging out with me here. So we are trying relay. The island had risen from the ocean, and I, fool that I was, decided to explore it. Exactly, I feel like that. Never have I regretted a curse of action so greatly in my life. Okay. Yeah, and we can do, at least we can do this in any order. That's maybe something. Let's see. Okay, what do we need? Yeah, we have in theory, oops, this was really a thing. So we can do this, right? Now having a spell would be amazing, obviously, but yeah, we cannot do that. Yeah, let's continue going. I mean, yeah, we either make or break it now. Oops, there's another die. And I guess that's pretty horrible. So we are adding this, and now we are using his thing. He can reroll those dice twice now, like spending 2. And okay, that's that, and that's that. And now we have another reroll. Keep that in mind because of his thing. Yeah, no, we are lacking 1. Yeah, no, we have to use it. And no, it's not. It's not it. It's not it. We are looking for the peril symbol. The terror symbol. Okay, we have to remove this. And that's the die. That's the die that counts now. No, 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 no. And for you really have to aside. Oh no! Oh, I was stupid. Oh, sorry. No, because I didn't make it, I had to reroll all of those. Oh, I messed that up. Of course, I had the second reroll, but then I removed for now. I think, yeah, no, I will not take it back. That's on me. I think I should have rerolled all of those, but then it's even less likely that I would have made. So let's consider this as a fail. So, which means we are using, or we are getting 2 of those and 2 of those. He's now at 5 out of 6. Oof, that's pretty damn close. But yeah, nothing we can do about it. Right? Yeah, there's really nothing. So we have to move on. And then we are with Sister Mary. She's blessed and she has a reroll. So in theory, let's move in here. She could go for this one and she would not even die. And again, she can ignore the lingering effects, right? May ignore any lingering effects on mythos cards. Exactly. Timothy, use the red as peril. Thus you have to use the detective icon as a peril. I think, oh, Matthias. I think, did I screw this up? Oh boy, yeah, playing this alone. Maybe are you saying I would have won already if I would have used another die? Is that what you're saying? I really do hope it's not the case. If so, I really do deserve it. But I think in this case, that's 4 dice. She's rolling 6 dice and she has a reroll. Now I will slow down. Do you think I should send Sister Mary to the When the Night Falls location? Again, she's blessed. And she has exactly 1 reroll. So that's what she rolls with 1 reroll. Do you think I should dare it? Or do you think slow it down because Carolyn should be most likely be able to deal with that? So I could wait for Carolyn Fern for her next turn, which she could do. But in theory, they should do it both. So there's nothing holding us. She would not die. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, we could go for it, right? Yes, you won. Cool. Great. I'm feeling so winnery right now. Oh gosh, I'm stupid as hell. You succeeded at really. In a normal playthrough, when I would do this stuff offline, I may have checked this and during editing I would have found this, but I have no editing here. But if you're saying I have won, I have won. So, but I still, for the laugh. Sorry, I need to drink something. Let's keep going, right? So in this case, we will send her here. Let's assume we would have won. We will do this, and then if she's failing, Carolyn will be able to go there, and then I'm relatively certain. Well, let's go in here. I'm relatively certain I could succeed. So let's see about that. Okay, I've won. I don't feel like winning actually. Okay. What did we have? So this is this. We were successful. We don't have a spell. No, we don't. So we have to simply keep going. So this was the easy one. This is this and this is this. So we will now use the reroll which we have here for her. And we are hoping for another scroll, right? A roll. A roll. And here's the law. Awesome! We have made it one way or the other. Woohoo! So it's either here or maybe Joe would have already made it. The game is still fun, so keep going, but it's gone. Wow, we are through. Amazing. Wow, that was pretty cool. Not even close, I would say, but I guess that's most likely because we were extremely lucky with our great old one here. I mean, Azathoth, he is, yes, you need a lot of these tokens, and maybe let's have a look at some of the others. I mean, this is only a 12, for example. Here's a 12. Here's one with 11 only, Nyarlathotep. But we're adding the mask monsters into the cup. They're not really extremely, I mean, yeah, they're a little bit worse here. This, for example, we would have to advance the clock 3 times. Here we would lock 3 green eyes. So yeah, they are pretty terrible, but then also much easier to beat, but also they will awake much sooner, for example. So you see that Azathoth would require 12 of those. He's already awaking at the 9th one, but then we would have been able to see maybe a fight in the meantime. Who knows? Though this game is truly extremely fun, and it's also extremely to play this game online with you in a live stream. Really appreciate you, all of you guys, for all your comments, all your help. I think I really have to slow down. That's the lesson learned here. So to give you really some room to give me some actual advice. So every now and then I should take a break and think things through or listen to you. But anyway, it was a great fun. Really totally appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And before I forget, I typically do that here. Simply a quick shout out to some of my patrons out there, and I really hope I didn't miss anyone here. Really totally appreciate your support. I had already something on the start of this stream with some of my executive sponsors, but in this case, really appreciate your support here overall. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of my playthrough. It's now, yeah, 10 p.m. here in Germany. I'm exhausted. Was a long week, was a long day, but definitely feeling pumped. Again, appreciate all your time, all your comments. Was a ton of fun. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. Maybe I will keep going with live streams for now, again, just to keep me yeah, in the loop. If I would now not do another live stream for another 2-3 weeks, I will completely forget my streaming software and whatnot. And I'm still playing around with stuff. I may need to exchange camera, maybe microphone is something I need to fix. All of these little bits and pieces, but it's really a ton of fun, I must say. So again, appreciate your time, appreciate you guys hanging out with me here, and hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye-bye.